There's an underlying fallacy. I think the nonprofits in municipalities that are concentrated in cities somehow are very wealthy and don't want to share. It's been my experience that those hospital chains that could have afforded to relocate and build new campuses did. Those that have campuses within heavily urbanized areas, they're there because that's where they started, and it's a very big expense to move. I mean, I'm sure they don't enjoy dealing with the parking situation, the congestions and everything else, but there's a certain economic at work there. You just can't uproot your entire institution and replicate it somewhere else. You are stuck in the city. You're stuck where you were. That doesn't make you a villain.
The 1889 Foundation, there was a grant that was for like $50,000 to do a study, $500,000. And then there was $50 million to redo the area. So you get what, $500,000 to make the plan, and then $50 million to enact that plan. I think what they were trying to do is put those prospect homes into the hands of the 1889 Foundation, which is another nonprofits that was formed during the sale of Conemaugh Hospital. So they took money from the sale and they dumped it into a nonprofit, and the idea was it was supposed to be for the benefit of the health of the community. That's why I think a lot of the things they were putting out at that time were housing is healthcare.
Our largest funding initiative to date has been the Center for Population Health. The community health worker model through the Community Care Hub helps to identify the social determinants of health.
And Sue became on my radar last year when I exposed the issue at Prospect. Prospect was applying through the 1889 Foundation and the Johnstown Housing Authority for a $50 million grant, revolutionize and potentially knock down Prospect, Coopersdale, and Oakhurst. When I initially got involved as the advocate for the residents, because the roofs were collapsing of 3 years of neglect, I had no idea what I was getting in the middle of.
Basically, the way I look at it is that they shut down Prospect homes. I don't know, legally evicted the residents of Prospect, but it seemed like it was almost an illegal eviction where they were kind of bribing people to get out. They didn't really evict them through the courts, they just told them they had to get out.
We very much have inherited legacy systems that we're now trying to figure out, okay, how do we use these systems together in new ways? Meanwhile, there's no city department in most communities where there is a Department of Innovation, a Department of Social Entrepreneurship or Public Entrepreneurship. So not only are we in silos, but there's nothing to kind of break up the logjam and say, hey, you from your department, you from your department, you from your department, let's all put our heads together and start piloting something that might work.
The grant that was given to the 1889 Foundation, being that it was a one-time grant, the only thing you can do is put it in an investment and then work off of the returns, which limits how much you can do. But if they were to take project housings, tell you all, these are bad, we have to get rid of them, and everybody goes, oh, we gotta sell these off. So then they come in and buy them again for pennies on the dollar because it's a crisis. So they buy them cheap, dump them to the 1889 Foundation, use $50 million to rebuild or revamp them. And then now that they're not owned by the Housing Authority can then use its Section 8 vouchers for them to live in those. And now the 1889 Foundation becomes a landlord because housing is healthcare. Those Section 8 vouchers now fund the 1889 Foundation. So you've now solved a problem, them not having a source of revenue. And now they can do more of their bidding, basically, by throwing people out. So it's a kind of a convoluted way that they do things.
$118 million or so they took from the Conemaugh Hospital sale.
Unlike Conemaugh Health Systems, Duke LifePoint is a for-profit company. Now that means once deal is done, the hospital will contribute to the tax base, something local leaders say should have a big impact.
Time will tell, but it's a for-profit hospital paying taxes for the city of Johnstown, Cambria County, and it looks like it's going to benefit the entire region.
It's not clear at this point what the tax contribution to the area will be.
They spend the interest on projects, giving themselves these 6-digit jobs. Amy Bradley had a job with them 10 years ago as their director of something or other, not that it matters. And they use these positions to pay back their friends who are loyal. And that's why I'm bringing it up.
They're taxed by constitutional exemption from taxation because of the sort of services they provide.
But they're not charged with property taxes.
They're not. That's a problem in the older cities. It's a problem where historically those institutions located because that reflected the center of gravity of that municipality. The fact that county seats have the county government, which is an exempt institution, and chances are they have a university or the municipality owns its own governmental buildings in that area. Those are all exempt structures. The fact that they're exempt and don't pay taxes should be a secondary consideration. The real consideration is what vibrancy do they provide to that municipality.
It's not even just about physical health, but it's really the physical, emotional, mental health.
This large donation also allows the foundation to leverage additional dollars from the state.
So you have this network of government grants and nonprofit money who pay back their own people and take care of them, so they continually have a revenue stream.
A special thank you to the 1889 Foundation and its supporters. We are so grateful for the funding that we're able to receive to address the health and human service needs of individuals in our communities.
The JSO is incredibly grateful to be the recipients of a $50,000 grant from the 1889 Foundation.
A donation of $230,000 is coming to the Greater Johnstown YMCA.
The 1889 Foundation has provided us with $200,000 in matching funds.
So our initial grant of $500,000 from 1889 Foundation to Hosanna Industries was able to start this housing rehabilitation initiative. We were able to grow that initial $500,000 to over $2 million, which will be able to help future homeowners in need.
The foundation is focused on fostering health opportunities like those offered at the Y.
This is just the beginning of what we hope will be a long and fruitful partnership as we support the health and vibrancy of our beloved community.
Donations are going to be important forever.
Whether it was public housing, whether it was the refugees, everything they get involved in is to make their people money.
Is that what their plan was? I don't know, but boy, it makes sense to me, and I'm not that smart. I bet they have a lot of people who are really smart that could think up things like that.
If you work it that way, you start here and you work out, and competition is good. Competition is good for everybody. When we have good competition, you know what? It helps people.
They say keep doing the same thing, expect different result. That's the first sign of insanity. What's different is we're involving a community. It's a community plan, not just a group of people's plan. We actually put private money together. This isn't government money. It started out with a process. Got business leaders I felt that had some ability to put money on the table, had relationships, and would put some time and talent invested in it. And we're passionate about the region. So we have 8 governance members. We hired Carnegie Mellon Remaking Cities to help put a plan together. We said 2025, what do you want your city to look like? And worked our way backwards to today. People feel that there's hope. People feel that there's a plan.
It's not a secret, it's fact. We are losing population, our people's incomes are decreasing.
Ethan is not a very skilled administrator. A normal person would start a new job and have to wait 3 months for health insurance. He got it on day 1 because he was connected.
Now there are people who have decent incomes, and they're primarily the people in control and think everything's great. Well, it's not.
I think at her core, Amy Bradley is not a bad person. I think she's an empty suit who's capitalizing on the fact that she can get a 6-digit salary plus by doing what she's told. She was the face of vision.